I want to try a slightly challenging run, but I still want to actually be able to access my reloads, which Crucible 15 unfortunately kind of makes it a lot harder to actually access your reloads. And wow, those are not impressive starting passives. Now, I could have taken Repose to Service, tried to play around it. I'm sure that is something I could have done, but I decided against it. We might not be collecting that much gold off of the Reduce, Refuse, Recycle, but it should still be nice to have lying around, especially if we can find a navigation inflation. It looks like I will be attempting to take a lot of elites this time. 3 in fact. Sorry, 4. Oh jeez. That's... 4's a pretty big number. I don't know if I can handle 4, but it's probably not going to stop me trying. After all, as I mentioned last run, I really do love my elite passives. They are very lovely. Let's just do a little bit of... Yeah, that's not funny. Cool. I'm not going to the early store, but there is a store later on, which is basically mandatory. Like, if you are somehow missing out on this store, I guess that is pretty possible. But I really shouldn't miss out on that store. Potentially, I could check on a sphere upgrade. Yeah, that probably sounds pretty ideal. If I don't find an orb I like here, I probably should check on one level of the sphere upgrade. Just because I'm walking through 4 boss fights and having one more level on a sphere helps out. Like for plants, you're going to take like 1 less damage. There are also just a lot of fights where you're just taking noticeably less damage by doing that one upgrade. It's definitely going to be something that's worth trying for. Let's just do a cool bounce. There we go. Nice. Now let's repeat, grab some more cash. Okay, I took some health loss there. Not ideal, but it's fine. We have room. Okay, we have an upgrade. So we'll just take an upgrade. The remove's also nice, but I did mention upgrading the sphere and I kind of forgot that, so let's just get the sphere upgraded, yeah. Okay. This fight we're not going to care about the sphere upgrade too much. Same with Minotaur, but they're still decent because it's still a 1-2 upgrade, which, as it turns out, is just pretty decent. So we'll aim for 3 there with a terrible, which means it's small. And we're going to just go straight through there. Aim slightly lower to try and, I guess, get the refresh. I'll aim slightly higher now. There we go. Missed again. Okay. I'll stop aiming for that one bomb. Let's try and get our pegs back on the board because I think we're going to need this sphere to... Ooh, wow. Okay, we've been doing an amazing job so far. I'm so happy that we don't have to deal with Crucible 14. It's really such a pain. Okay, how do I hit this? Aim slightly higher like that. No, too high. Slightly low. Oh my god. I can't afford to do this much more. So let's just try this. A bit more health loss here than I would like, but it's fine. I did a pretty good shot right there. Just lets me follow through with something like this, which should be able to close out the fight very easily there. But yeah, certainly not ideal. Let's try not to lose more health, and that should be pretty doable because we just better get another passive, which is really insane. Really, really good. Especially, I mean, like, there are so many boss fights there, that's going to be amazing. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the extra gold. Pincer maneuver, okay. Should be good. Actually, yeah, that should be very good. I'm liking what we got. We also have 8 starting shield now, so we're just better set up for elite fights all around now. I do love to see that. It's fine, we still haven't lost any health. Cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to actually talk about it a bit more. So we didn't take the remove from the earlier removal. And that's just because, especially like in the early game, we kind of want to have full access to all of the garbage pebbles in our deck. We're very happy to just be shooting them instead of constantly trying to reload. Because we're not exactly at the point yet where I don't really have the best shot here. Okay, that was actually insane. We're not at the point yet where we're like really happy to shoot a single orb each time, or maybe multiple orbs each time. So we kind of just want to chill out and keep a whole bunch of bad orbs in our deck for a bit, so that we're just not losing too much health to these elite fights, because otherwise it can very much become an issue. That being said, Recombobulator does give me some liberties for this fight. I can kind of just be a lot more aggressive, which is great, because all of these bombs are coming straight back, and I don't have to deal with any kind of damage decrease for for collecting an amazing passive. Which is nice. I think that Recombobulator, when it had the damage decrease, was a pretty fair passive, and I'm happy with how it is now. Let's try and claim that refresh soon, shall we? Let's try this. There we go. Look at how good that shot was. That was fun. Alright, no more. Oops. That's fine, it's fine. Let's, oh, I missed that? That's fine though. As long as I get one bomb? Oh, damn. No bombs. Mildly unfortunate, but I can just do a shot like that, which misses big time. Okay, let's just not lose too much health now. Thank you, kindly. Alright, really good stuff there. Look at that, excellent shot there. Now let's follow through. Still, again, a bit more health lost in the elites than I would like. Hopefully, the next one's slightly luckier. Still, we got very good cash. Really can't complain too much at all. We'll press the heal button once, and then we'll get a boomy burst. Now, I don't believe we actually create bombs in battle. I believe we're just respawning them. But that would be kind of cool. Strange Brew, not a bad passive to have, for sure. Alright, the plants. I think that we can try and take on a plant fight. I think that is just fine. Let's try and go for this refresh immediately. I want to see if we can actually access it. Looks like we can't. We're going to have to work for that refresh quite hard. It also... Oh, damn. I was really hoping for a really good sphere shot. Kind of banking on it, honestly. Yeah, it would have been great, wouldn't it? There we go. There we go. So we got access to that finally. Took a bit more time than I would like. Indeed. But we pressed the heal button, giving ourselves slightly more time for these kinds of shenanigans. There we go. Heads Maneuver was just working on the back one for us. Yep. Okay. Definitely not the best, but could have been worse. Popping Con already is very nice to see. We're going to get so much value out of that. We'll try and bring our cash back up to 150 or so. Maybe 180, sounds good. We don't exactly have any crazy orbs in our deck, but getting a remove early on is always extremely nice. Well, that was very nice there, wasn't it? Absolutely what I was after. There's a lot of stuff I would like to find in the store. Indeed, I have quite a few things I could try to do this run. The fact that we now have access to healing as well as great AoE is very nice. Our AoE is very solid. Okay, Minotaur fight. We need our second sphere to also be a crit, I think. Well, hopefully we don't have to get to a second sphere, right? But I get the feeling we will because it's a Minotaur. So yeah, both the Minotaur and the plant was pretty unfortunate. Hold up. We just kind of keep rolling our crits along and it just is working. Wow. Every single shot was hitting the refresh. And the crit. Oh, that's nice. That means we probably only take 1 Minotaur hit instead of potentially up to 3. Yeah, that's pleasant. I want to shoot this way, yes. Oh, right, really good healing from Poppycon as well. 209 cash, that keeps us well stacked for the store. Mask of Joy, Prime I think I'll take a Mask of Joy. Sounds like fun. The Prime is also very nice, but depending on what we get in the store, like that. Yeah, okay. The Bombaton as well. Okay, the Bombaton's actually really big. I kind of wish I had one more cash though to just pick up that Blue Lightning. Works really well with all the bomb nonsense we've got going on. Especially now that we have the Bombaton as well. Alright, I'd say these bombs are pretty bad. Really bad placements, unfortunately. I would have loved anything on the inside here. I probably messed up my first few shots as well, didn't I? I should have had a better shot onto this This guy right here. Alright, we should just be able to keep slamming through with the bombs. That's what I'm hoping. Hoping and what you get are two different things. Yeah, not the best for scaling him up. Not too happy with that, but whatever. Okay, good stuff there. Oh, I missed. I was really hoping to line up that bounce properly. Let's just claim it now, though. Got a whole lot of bombs on the board. Alright, hopefully we get some real damage there, but it doesn't seem like it. It looks like I'm going to be relying on my bombs for the most part, which is not a surprise. The second I saw I had Recombobulator, I kind of figured that that was going to be this kind of strategy I was leaning towards. Just because we kind of could. You know, this fight is one that is... I mean, he spawns bombs for a reason, right? It's a very simple way of putting it. Game circle. Yeah. It's a really, really good orb right now, and then I take a constricting chains and I'm just very happy with it. Yep, it's going to be an amazing orb in a second. Because we have these two passives, and these two alone can just give us insane scaling. Not an ideal fight for us though, but at least we have pretty damn good healing, so I'm still just pretty fine shooting this stuff. I do want to shoot this, try and claim the refresh, and then we'll be shooting this. Trying to gain some scaling. Now it's just a question of whether or not we're hitting crits, which is pretty likely. Yeah, it's going to be extremely likely we're hitting crits, unfortunately. But it is nice to just have them circle there. I'd rather not shoot directly at that crit, but it just doesn't matter. You just hit the crits every time because we have 3 orbs on the board. Ideally, honestly, I go left and I can actually take the elite. That does mean that I'm going to be upgrading my thing though. It's pretty required. One of the other good things about the constricting chains is I do have popping column, which is doing a splendid job with. I took way more self-damage there than I would have liked, but as I mentioned, popping column should be able to heal up basically all of that. And now the abrasion is also level 3, which is amazing. I would like not to take any health loss this fight. So 46 is what I entered on. Hopefully we can exit with more than that. Yeah, it looks like I should be able to handle that, but my refreshing capabilities are still incredibly lacking, so I would love to improve that as well. And that's not more than 46. Yeah, as I said, my refreshing capabilities, thank you. Very much wanted that. Alright, I lost pretty minimal health. I guess I'll just be fine with that. I'm not going to play around, I'm just going to pick that up and try and get good use out of it because I need more refreshes, as I mentioned. So I just gained the circle with this, yes. But, sorry, I gained bulk with it. I also gained the circle, but it's not exactly why I'm shooting it. Because it's unfortunately very hard for me to actually access the circle. So, like, sure, it's extremely nice that I'm getting the circle, but it's just a good orb overall. Really good orb overall, to be honest. That just tore straight through. When I had a cookie. Alright, we should be in a much better spot for this elite. We don't have a bull lightning, which would have been amazing if this was resistance knight. It's not resistance knight, but it looks like we get this amazing first shot, which is like such a good setup shot. Then we follow through with nonsense like this, which is like, oh, I was really hoping it wouldn't pop all of those refreshes. Let's just stay as far away from that crit as possible. Looks like I'm going to have to shoot back over there. Got to make sure I'm getting my refresh, unfortunately. Yeah, a bit too close there. I just need the refresh. It can still get the kill as well. Alright. It should be fine. Looks like I did a good job healing in this elite fight. That's always amazing. Echo for some AoE. Might be needed, but I'm fighting this one, so I don't really want to boost up my AoE too much. Crits also refresh. I'll take it because it's a decent passive and the other one is literally negative for us. Oh, I got a coin, cool. Ideally, we're not getting use out of it. Ideally, we just remove that thing, but that requires a boss passive, right? So at the minute, we're going to have to wait for a boss passive. And in the meantime, having one extra refresh on the board is exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. We picked up an orb for that exact purpose. Well, hopefully the orb is doing a bit more than one extra refresh, eh? Close. Alright, perfect. Let's shoot like there. Okay. Nice. Yeah, the Constricting Chains was a very natural pick, I'd say. We have amazing healing and good scaling. And yeah. Oh, it's a good bomb plating, yeah. This is a very bad scenario though. Luckily the Recombobulator is amazing here. Gives you a lot more momentum for your shots. But the very bad scenario is the fact that our operation is just on the wrong side of our deck. I would not recommend having it that way. I did want to take a break there and shoot the refresh circle, but that does take up a lot of time. I'm just going to aim straight at this crit. I don't really care about accessing the circle this shot. I just needed the refresh guaranteed, and it was easier to aim at that one than at a refresh. I should still be able to get shots that don't hit crits, like that. Lovely stuff. That's probably going to hit a crit. Yeah, unfortunate. Alright, where's our crit? Okay, so we're just going to aim like here. Amazing stuff. You can really tell that I need to do my absolute best to avoid all of these crits, because they don't do damage, unfortunately. The rubble is extremely tempting though, so I will just pick it up. Potentially not going to the store, but I do want the remove, so it's a tough call. Take the inconspicuous ring. I think it might be... I don't know why I did that. Let's aim for those bombs because they give me so much more gold. I actually do need gold right now, so I am happy to burn some health to gain gold because it's definitely a good play for me right now. And not to worry because I am indeed burning health, but look at that. Boosted up to 130 gold. This is not bad because we have such amazing healing powers. I'm just kind of worried with having our max HP, and I think our healing powers are already amazing enough that I don't really want to do so. If I had a Basalt Totem, I'll definitely reconsider, but I don't have a Basalt Totem just yet, so I think we can just move on. Betsy's Hedge. I guess it's nice to have, but we're probably not going to be able to use it too much, especially if we're removing that thing from the board. Yep, we want the store. There's a lot of good stuff we could get, like a training weight. So really, exactly the kind of thing we were looking for. Now we have a Molten Gold, Unicorn Horn, Navigation Inflation. All of them are mildly interesting. I think I'll take a Navigation Inflation just because it combos very well with this Reduce, Refuse, Recycle, Recombobulator stuff. The plus 10 gold though is also tempting. Alright, ideally I'm entering this boss fight with as close to full health as possible, but we'll see what I can do. I'm going to get a big rubble smack immediately. I'm not sure if I'll be able to claim one later on after all. Then we're going to get a lot of crits. The second I don't get a crit, however, he should just fall over. You can really tell the difference in the circle scaling. Alright, at least we're collecting all the cash on the map, eh? Always look on the bright side. Very hard to not hit crits here, though. Looks like this should be it. Perfect. Alright, there's another rubble. I do wish that we had a level 3 rubble, then we do have a level 3 rubble. That's lovely. Perfected reactant. Yeah. We're quite... Ah! I never read that tooltip, that's cool. Yeah, no, the powder collector is certainly going to be very nice. Let's try and claim some cash here. Looks like I might just do that. I know that I said I wanted my health, but we do need cash. We definitely really need cash. Okay, this is absolutely amazing. Literally could not have had a better first shot. Yes, getting all of those bombs is kind of annoying, but I think it's fine. This is going to hit a crit, unfortunately, but still, that's why I wanted the rubble to be level 3, because the difference between 3 and 4 crit damage is actually a massive deal for a rubble. good news is I'm spam hitting the bombs, but luckily there aren't too many paintings just yet to actually save yourself. Oh, close. I mean, look, it's good so far. Let's try not to get too much confection though. It looks like you're doing a really good job of that. Yeah. Let's just aim as far away from the crit as possible. Yep. And notice how once we don't hit the crit, suddenly the boss is at 430 health. Now I can just do a shot like this, which is very simple and is just basically killing the boss. Yeah. Cool. Nice. Played 2 outs and we got the Sappersack. Kinetic Meteorite. Safety regulations. You know what? It's actually not a bad... I should just not. I shouldn't Sappersack, I should Kinetic Meteorite. Sure. That's definitely not a bad idea. I do want to go to the early store. All of that extra greeting I did earlier on just kind of sets me up for this store perfectly, doesn't it? Like, it's just really nice. Getting the navigation inflation, claiming those bombs. Looks like we're getting very good shots off on this map as well, which is nice because this is really pretty tough map. It's not actually the easiest to get good damage on. And then we have stuff like rubble, which is just going above and beyond, isn't it? I need this refresh, so let's just try and do a shot like this. I think that should hit either the crit or the refresh. I just need to make sure I'm accessing my circle. Yep, even just 2 hits is enough. Now let's just do a shot where we're not hitting a crit, and then ta-da! He should just fold over. Yeah. Most of his health gone, and that's what the bombs are for. It's part of the reason why I didn't want to take safety regulations, because right now we have a very solid bomb game plan going on, and I don't really want to decrease the power of that whatsoever. Because this is still at his technique, but I'm not doing it. Oh wow, that is... We have some pretty good greed now, don't we? Ooh, yeah. That's fun. Let's grab some of the circle real quick. Yep, so the second we don't crit, suddenly pincer maneuver is just going to nuke them. Not possible for this shot. It is possible for this shot. Oh, that's neat. They dodged the one coming the other way. I'm not going to upgrade it just yet. I don't need to either, but I will. Yeah, I'll take a ball landing, I guess. What do I do? Oh, I see. Remove an orb. Sure, that is what I wanted to go to the store for, but I guess if you've got it, I guess I'm fine with that. I kind of... Yeah, whatever. Let's just remove the terrible. Let's head this way. I can collect cash, that's amazing. 23 gold just like that. Yeah, let's get some upgrades on this abrasion then. It's pretty low powered at the moment, isn't it? Boom. Yeah. Not a bad shot, I guess. All things considered, I was just trying to get in there a bit more. Good news is constricting chains are pretty good at just getting through this fight, and so are bombs. Who are we fighting? Squares. My AoE is not exactly that amazing right now. But Recombobulator should be able to do a very decent chunk of their health. Alright. Oh, I got the immediate refresh. Yeah, no, I'm just claiming my circle. And then I get to do a shot like this, which cleans up everything else, even if it does hit a crit. Yeah. Honestly, that's like one of the main reasons why I wanted Rubble. Because Rubble is just an amazing orb in general, but it has 8 base crit damage. And it turns out that 8 base crit damage is actually just more than enough to support Circle game plans. Because if you still have your crits on the board, and believe me, Rubble is very likely to hit those crits, it's just still totally fine. I'm adding more. The second I don't hit a crit, these abrasions are just killing. So it's just kind of a good idea for me to add them. They are my AoE effectively. Yeah. And then we get some fights like this, which is much less fun. Really just not very fun. Oh well, I will be pressing the heal one after this, I believe, because I need to not be rolling this fight a whole bunch. That's how I just lose this run. Which it doesn't really feel like a losable run, but no, Ghost would be able to do that to me. Yeah, I'm also missing like round guard stuff as well. So usually I kill enemies before that point, but now I'm actually having to think about it. That is good. I'm banning squares, so I should take it Dupont. No, I don't want to take a Dupont. I may hit your refresh move. It's mildly likely, but it's just not worth it. Kind of don't want to pick that up because I just don't like the sound. I can't press that. Well, because I die, and I already have that achievement, so I'm not interested. Not today, at least. There we go. Let's just get some upgrades and... oh my god. Yeah, no, that's really quite annoying. I would greatly prefer it didn't do that. But we've got to work with what we got apparently, and what we got is really unlucky. Having to deal with this naughty ghost is very unfortunate. I think it's this shot, which I don't really like, but looks like it did enough, doesn't it? Indeed. Cool. Let's keep it going because it's unfortunate. I have some removals potentially. I do want more max health. I know it's extremely late for it, but that's still like another like 5 max health or something. You know, I do need that. All right, this should be a very simple fight. I'm just going to do some shots like that, and yeah, they're going to gain a lot of stats hopefully. Just like that. Yep. So we're now sitting at 30 in a circle, so what happens if I aim away from that crit right there? Oh, it's beautiful. They just both disappear. Nice. And I've also claimed this opportunity to heal as well, which is really nice because I think I definitely wanted that for this boss fight. Squiz is definitely kind of annoying, and although my bomb stuff does line up very well into them, I do still want to be pretty careful because it can be very unfortunate. I have the cash to spend, so I should spend the cash, realistically. It's not like you can get random shops anymore. Not the greatest shot one, but wow, honestly, that was much better than I thought it would be. Yes, not quite. Alright, that does set up this shot extremely well though, because I then get to just do some nonsense like this, and it's going to be pretty damn solid. Yeah, good. Oh yeah, and we're at the point where this map is getting slightly laggy, so let's try and finish it up real fast here. There you go, you're down. Now the front guy should be down, because there are just a lot of bombs now. Makes it very easy to, yeah, extremely laggy at this point. Cool. It's squared, so unfortunately the rubble is not actually that good a hold. Oh my god, see what I mean? 244. Let's get some temp refreshes going. I know that we're probably going to pop some of the most of them, but we didn't actually pop too many. Let's see how many bombs we can get going here. Bubble plus Parallel Boomyverse is just really good. I think you can see why I picked it up for this boss fight. Full lining is also something I should pick up. Let's do some upgrades. I could also consider the Jacob line in there, but I'm not doing that. 89 gold. Oh, only plus 20, sure. Fine, I guess. Alright, let's get moving. I really want a good shot for this bubble, please. It would be really, really nice. So I think I might try a shot like this. Apparently that was just a really bad idea. Or maybe it was an amazing idea and I just got really unlucky. I think it was a bad shot there. Let's try and do absolutely nothing again. Oof. Not the greatest start to this fight, I'm going to be perfectly honest, but hopefully this next shot is going to put in some great work. Because I would absolutely love it to, you know? Got a lot of bombs to hit. Shoot my healing orb. Oh, it's a healing orb that also did not hit a crit. Would you look at that? Well, it turns out when my healing orb doesn't hit a crit, that yeah, it kind of just claims skills. That's nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can see why I really liked the whole recombobulator stuff here, as well as my healing orbs are doing amazing, absolutely stellar. I love it when you can turn the ball around an operation and just turn it into a force for good. Oh, it's beautiful. I think I can just finish out the fight here. Don't think I need to try too hard. I'm probably not hitting that crit, but there's a good chance. Yeah. Even if I do, though, it probably just gets the kill anyway. Nice stuff. There was a nice little challenge, you know. It wasn't a cakewalk by any means. I had to work for the win, especially in Area 1. Area 2 was definitely on the simpler side. The boss fight could have gone really hard. I was a few turns off of being very, very nasty, but I did have extremely, extremely good scaling because I made a few good choices early on, like the Mask of Joy and the bomb stuff. These bomb passives are, well, okay, Recombobulator is really good. It's really, really good, especially after the buff. Um, it was kind of hard to use, I'll admit, in the previous version. So I do think that the buff was very fair, but it is currently in a state where it's just very, very decent. Maybe it should be capped some in some ways. Like I understand that you have to throw the bombs before you can refresh them, but even then, it's still extremely, extremely strong. Boomy in and of itself, I would say, is actually a pretty bad passive. But the reason why it's a bad passive is because it's even harder to get use out of than your normal passives, right? Except the second you're getting use out of it, guess what? Suddenly it's actually really, really handy, and you can really tell the difference that it has, especially when you're shooting these bulbs and you've got three of the bulbs on the field, and the bulb now has the when drawn convert two pegs to bombs immediately. Like it's just really, really good. But yeah, I would definitely say that though that the highlight of this run was the abrasion. It is such a fun orb. Like this orb, it's not bad. I would recommend you start upgrading it though because four is generally a really not a nice number to deal with. Three, on the other hand, there are some very nice things about the number three. So the first one is if you reduce orb damage by 50%, suddenly you're only dealing one self damage. And would you look at that? The final level also only deals one self damage. So you don't need to worry about upgrading it to the third level as much when you have that passive. Although 10 to 8, it is kind of worth it just for that alone because there's quite a big difference between 10 and 8. Especially when you're trying to get your like fifth miss circle, there's a very big difference between 10 and 8. And the other big difference between 4 and 3 is okay, technically it's the same for both of them, but you cycle a bit slower through it if you have three instead of four. Is whenever you take self damage, you gain shielding equal to double the damage you took. You can get like when you take one self damage, you gain two shielding, and then you cycle on that. That is actually just really, really nice because then the abrasion again, it's only dealing one self damage to you each time. And that's really nice. And then obviously there are the normal combos with abrasion. Like this is the big one. Added advantage is massive, and then you can build on onto added advantage with Mask of Joy, which also adds onto the circle, which is amazing. Or the whenever you gain bulwark, gain two more bulwark, as well as the technically training tablet does also feed into it, but it's not adding onto it; it's feeding into a loop instead. And then Mask of Joy plus training rate to just giga stack the circle so that not only is it a healing orb, but it's also just giving you the damage you need to beat up anything, pretty much. Like, sure, you can still hit crits, and then it sucks. But that's where orbs like Rubble come into play. Where look at that. We halved the damage of it, but it's still got 4 crit damage. We didn't find a Complex Claw. A Complex Claw would have been nice. It's just a nice, neat little boost there. And yeah, Rubble is just still going to do absolutely amazing crit damage when it's hitting tons and tons of pegs because that's the job of Rubble. It just hits tons and tons of pegs, and it was incredibly, incredibly handy in that second boss fight for sure. Cool. The refresh circle was also mandatory. I think. I think that I probably actually would have lost without this refresh circle. Now, that's not to say that I would 100% lose. I think the odds were pretty decent that I still just win the fight, win the this game anyway, but it really increased my odds to win. I would say having access to more refreshes was totally mandatory because the only other access to refreshes we had was this heavy shaft potion, and it's not bad at all. It's really quite good. Having an extra refresh on the board, which is also moving every shot, and so one of them is moving and one of them is not, is actually very ideal. It's a really nice passive, especially when you want to add more crits onto the board. It's just when you're playing the land, you probably don't want to add more crits onto the board. And I believe the only other one we found that actually adds crits onto the board, apart from Critabullus, which I saw, was the other option here, which was counterfeit crits, which we wouldn't have wanted over Heavy Shaft Potion for sure. And maybe both combined, like, yeah, it wouldn't have been bad, but definitely definitely wanting heavy sharp potion more than adding more crits onto the board there. The pincer maneuver was fun. It's definitely a situation where the pincer maneuver, we're not like one-shotting most of the time, and so most of the time it's just dealing pretty medium damage, and sometimes it's making us take 45 health worth of reflex damage, which is not ideal, but I still think it was just really nice. Like, it cleaned up that plant fight a bit faster, for example, and just overall, it was actually just like pretty nice to be dealing more damage to the back ones, especially once I got to area 2, and I was dealing other forms of AoE as well.